going back to last week, I get still a lot of questions about this Giannis Cat trade. And is he playing a lot better? Yes. And I think the main reason why that he's playing a lot better is because there is noise. There is noise about a possible trade, and he will be involved in it. And I think that lit a fire under his ass, and he's playing lights out offensively, but I hate to say it to you, there's still questions defensively, and that's always been the case.
Always.
That's always been the case, and I'm still for it. I hate to break it to you guys that think that we should just leave it as is. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I still believe that we would benefit with Giannis on this team.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the FTV podcast. I'm your host, Chris Gulick. Alongside my co-host, Dom Savino, we will be ranting about the week that was. The Knicks are one win away from a championship, the NBA Cup, that is, while the Jets and Giants tank it out for draft position. Once again, the Yankees are as quiet as church mice, but the Mets are trying to rectify their mistakes. But there is one looming question. Could this be David Stern's last season as Mets executive if 2026 goes awry? We will be addressing that suspenseful topic in a bit. But first, Dom, it is fucking freezing outside.
Yeah, it's really
It
cold.
is so cold.
The weather people weren't lying about a cold front before Christmas. It's fronting, all right. It's fronting. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I cannot wait to get out of here soon. I'm going away in like a few weeks to an island, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, you're doing all right, I think.
Yeah,
I
I
think you're
know.
doing okay.
I'm white as a ghost right now.
I'm not
I
any
look
better.
I look sick.
I
And I'm
take,
perfectly
the thing is, I hope you do. I take vitamin D.
I've been getting on my vitamins as of late. I have no choice at this rate.
Right.
Getting older, right?
Yeah, it's cold out. It's cold. If
Yeah,
folks
really.
don't know, this morning it was 26 degrees here in New York. It is now 33 with the sun out, so maybe it's more like 38, 40. It will get a little warmer the next 3 days. Tomorrow, I think, is high of 46. Thursday is 48. And Friday, actually, Dom, is like 55, 56. So
Beautiful.
it is going to get a little warmer, but Friday is going to rain. 44 tomorrow, 47 Thursday, rain, and 57 on Friday. So you can forget about the snow. 95% of it will be gone. And then Saturday is back to mid 30s, but Sunday's 46. So it's not terrible. It's just these past 3, 4 days have been cold as hell.
I woke up yesterday morning and where I am, it's like 20 something degrees because it was so windy out. It felt like 0.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. I mean, Dom is near the
Crazy.
water. He's a lot closer to the water than I am. I'm near the water too, but you live anywhere near the water, you might as well deduct 10 degrees.
Yeah, it's over. It's over for
Yeah.
these winter months.
Nah, it's
Been
terrible.
crazy.
I'll tell you right now, the 2 months that you have to try to get through in New York is next month and February.
And that's it.
That's it,
Then
really.
we're all right.
The first 2 weeks, maybe you could get some snowfall in March, the first 2 weeks in March, but if you get by mid-March, I mean, listen, baseball starts 2 weeks after that, so it better start warming up. Otherwise, I don't know how those guys. I mean, the players in like Minnesota, I don't know how they play. It's crazy, but we haven't had snow before Christmas. Dom, when was the last time here in New York?
I can't even
I-
remember. Probably since like we were in high school, maybe.
I'm gonna say 8th grade.
8th grade. There you go. So not
Yeah.
even high school.
So Dom, what is that? We were 12, 13 in 8th grade, so that's
Yeah,
literally half our age now. That's 13 years ago.
nasty.
Uh, It's been a while. Don't tell that to the people in Buffalo, though. They get it every winter. Crazy. Other than that, I assume your weekend was good. Mine was pretty chill. Can't really say much. Just watch the Knicks move on to the championship final for the NBA Cup. That was really it.
Yeah, same with me. I'm just enjoying some sports, really. Enjoying some sports, still working, and yeah, Life's been good. And I just cannot wait to get the hell out of here. It's too
Good for
damn
you.
cold.
It is. It's freezing. Well, with all that set aside, we would start with the NBA because of where the Knicks are at currently, but it's an in-season tournament, not the actual NBA playoffs. So we're still going to start again with the MLB. The Yankees signed Amed Rosario. Let's look at my list. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Dom, go ahead. You could start.
you are correct. Amed Rosario, he came back on a 1-year deal for $2.5 million. We don't know what the hell is going to happen with Jazz Chisholm. We don't know what's going to happen to him, if he's going to get traded or not. And then also with Anthony Volpe, I don't know. It seems like they're not really too happy at the shortstop position either. So, and he can also play third base, even though we have Ryan McMahon, but Ryan McMahon can't hit for shit. I am a better hitter than Ryan McMahon. So he could play anywhere in the infield, really. So it's really not that bad of a deal, and only $2.5 million. So honestly, I'll take that. And then his stats, when it comes against lefties, he definitely owned them last year. He had a 302 batting average, 491 slugging, and 819 OPS. So hey, I'll take that. I will take that any day. And yeah, other than that, it's been god awful when it comes to free agency. But it seems like they're probably just going to try and go for Tatsuya Imai, the Japanese pitcher, and that's it. And you never know. Maybe you'll talk about this later, but Cody Bellinger might be another person that'll go from the Yankees to the Mets. So we'll see about that. But in general, when it comes to all the Japanese players, they have deadlines, right? So Munetaka Murakami, he must sign a contract by December 22nd at 5 p.m. Tetsuya Imai must sign a contract by January 2nd at 5 p.m. And Kanzuma Okamoto, he must sign by January 4th at 5 p.m. So honestly, we're going to have some news coming up by next week with Murakami, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to want to get him. So by December 22nd, we'll have some news for you.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to Tetsuya Imai, and I quote, naturally, he has plenty of suitors lining up to pay him somewhere between $150 million and $200 million, a group that includes the deep-pocketed New York Yankees, Chicago Cubs, and the Philadelphia Phillies. He's expected to begin meeting with potential employers in America as soon as this week, according to Jared Diamond. So, hey, I'll take it. I'll take him. As I said last week, we need all the pitching that we can get.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like he has some nasty stuff too. And he can throw a fastball up to 99. So we're going to need it. And I've honestly said this for years to come, that one of the reasons why the Yankees have done so bad in the playoffs is because they can't hit fast pitching. They were never able to. For some reason, the regular season, if someone's throwing 99, no problem. They're hitting it over the fence. But in the regular season, 99 felt like 110 to them. And now look at Cam Schlittler. He's the reason why he had that historic shutout against the Boston Red Sox last postseason, because he can throw that hard. He can throw 99. He can throw 100. We're going to need these fastball pitchers to try and blow by some of these power hitters that we're going to be going up against this year. And now, especially though we have Pete Alonso going to the Orioles, and that crazy lineup that's going to be, and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. in Toronto. And possibly, if he doesn't come to the Yankees, Kyle Tucker, or, I mean, it seems like they're not even interested, but let's say he does, it seems like his number one suitor right now is the Toronto Blue Jays. So we're going to need all this pitching that we can get. I'm sort of excited for these next few weeks, especially when it comes to these Japanese players. And maybe we can get Okamoto as well, who seems like a more well-rounded prospect than Murakami, because it seems like he's either a home run or a bust. And that's the last thing the Yankees need. I said earlier in earlier episodes that I did want Murakami, but after way more research, it seems like it would be an awful fit. And it seems like he's going to want a lot of money as well, probably even more than Tatsuya Imai, who is a pitcher, none the least. So let's see how it goes in these next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And then I want to get onto something real quick about the Yankees. There was a updated projection contracts by ESPN, and it says that Cody Bellinger can be looking at a 6-year, $180 million deal. The way that Hal Steinbrenner has been talking, it seems like he might not even want to pay that much. And now it's saying, probably about a half hour ago, I read that the Mets are heavily favored when it comes to Cody Bellinger. So it seems like we're going to be losing him. But that means we're going to lose a center fielder. But now I'm going to be the one to say, Spencer Jones better come up then. Even if we do sign Bellinger, he still better be on this roster. Play center field, play left field, anything. I'll take it. I'll take anywhere where he can play. These were Spencer Jones' numbers last year in the minor leagues. He was in AA and AAA. He played 116 games last year in 2025. He had 35 home runs, a 932 OPS, and 80 RBIs. I think anyone could say that is insane for a young minor league player.
It's pretty good.
Even though I would say young, but I think he's 23 right now. He'll be 24. So he's starting to get up there. In age. So it just sucks that we have a $8 billion franchise in the New York Yankees, and we're being cheap. It is disgusting. It's a disgrace. I'll say it till the day that I croak, that George is rolling in his grave, and if I get up there soon, I'll be rolling with him.
Yeah.
Next to each other, we'll be rolling like a hamster on the wheel. That's what's going to be happening here. And it's awful. This is not the Yankee way. It seems like the Dodgers, they're taking our style from us from over the years of just spending and spending and spending. And you know what? Hey, I said this last week. If we got to do a deferred contract, why not? If that's the way that we can slow things down a bit when it comes to the really expensive payroll, allegedly, that the Yankees have, that no one can afford. So, do that. If we have to defer a Kyle Tucker contract, if he's okay with that, then do it. Yankee fans and Yankee players and Yankees front office, they say they want a championship, the front office, but it seems like they're doing as little as they could. And it's just disgusting. Other than that, there really isn't much when it comes to the Yankees as of December 16th at 1:55 p.m.
Is that it?
So let's see. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
Is that all?
That's really it. There really isn't much when it comes to the Yankees.
Okay. Well, I figured. I just wanted you to let it all out. I mean, not like you were screaming to the heavens at all, but Yankees organization just confuses the hell out of me now more than ever. Because again, like we've said the past few episodes, they've just been way too quiet and they haven't really taken any action, especially the ownership, the GM. They just haven't really done much. And the Yankees being quiet, that's not what they used to be. That's what they are now. But I agree with you, Dom, that since 2019, when they didn't sign Bryce Harper or Manny Machado, that's really where it started to go downhill in terms of Yankees fans appreciating and respecting Brian Cashman's winter off seasons. I put out a poll, Dom, and I think there was a fair amount of votes. I put out a poll on YouTube as a community post. And let me just, here it is. Have Yankees fans lost faith and trust in Brian Cashman regarding the winter off seasons? 119 votes, 79% say yes.
It's not just me. See, I'm not crazy.
No, it's not.
I'm not crazy.
I mean, it can't be.
It just sucks too because Luke Weaver had a terrible year last year. He did have a good 2024, but he had an awful 2025. And if we had somewhat of a bullpen, we would not even be talking to him right now. But we have no choice. We have no choice but to re-sign him and just hope that he can go back to the 2024 player that he was. Because 2025 was just absolutely atrocious. And yes, that we do know that he was injured last year, but I'm sorry, man. There's just no excuse. Right. There should just not be any excuse for this type of thing. So Let's see if we even re-sign him.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I mean, Mets have their own question marks. They've already made mistakes, I've said in the intro. So that brings me now to the Mets. And I'm going to start off with this. And it's another community post. It's one that I posted 4 days ago because it's going to lead me to the signing that they just made recently. With Pete Alonso heading to the Orioles, should the Mets try to sign Kyle Tucker? Dom, 287 votes. I think that's the most I've gotten on a community post so far. Yeah, it definitely is. And 57% said yes. So not that drastic of a difference than the Yankees poll, but 57% say yes, or they should look to sign Kyle Tucker because they do need a big bat, especially with Pete Alonso gone. So I'm just going to start there. Now, with that being said, the Mets signed Jorge Polanco to 2 years, $40 million. I tell you to ask me if I'm moved, but I'll just answer it anyway. I am absolutely not. You could say whatever you want.
Yeah, no,
I
definitely
texted
not.
this to Dom. I said I am not moved. He said it wouldn't move me either. And frankly, just doesn't sell me.
Why would it?
It just doesn't.
No,
So
yeah, no reason why it should.
I don't care what his stats are. He never played first base last season, and he is notoriously hurt. Only 2021 and 2019, he played more than 140 games, with last season only playing 138 games, right? Obviously, this is, not a great signing in my opinion. Reportedly, he is athletic and can hit bombs. Now, the hitting part, I can somewhat get behind. He hit 26 homers last season, hit 33 in 2021. However, he only hit 30 homers once and only hit 20 homers twice. Now, why is that? Well, partially because he was always hurt, but also because he's a pretty inconsistent player. But the athletic part, I don't really understand. He barely has played at first base. You brought him in to be a DH and a first baseman. So now you're putting a lot of pressure and you're asking for a lot for the coaches that you just hired. So I don't really know if they can get him to be an above average first baseman on defense. I just don't know if they can do that.
Oh.
So, okay, you signed him. The Christian Pache, I'm not even getting into. Minor league deals, don't waste my time. I'm not even going to get into that. A minor league deal, great. If he happens to be another Jose Iglesias and he comes up and puts a spark into the team, fantastic. That's great. But I'm not going to go into the Christian Pache stuff. I'm not going to do it. Mets are looking at Kyle Tucker and are very in on Cody Bellinger, a name that Dom just mentioned with the Yankees. Now, Cody Bellinger, again, like I said, good player. It would be a great pickup. It would be more of a great pickup if they had retained Pete Alonso. But I agree with the community post and the people on that poll, 57% of them saying, yes, they need Kyle Tucker. I'm right with them. You need to go sign Kyle Tucker. You need a left fielder. You need a serious bat. Jorge Polanco does not protect Juan Soto. Right now, nobody in the Mets lineup protects Juan Soto. So as Ron Darling said on MLB Network, Juan Soto should bat leadoff, but if he doesn't, he's just going to be walking 150 times in a season. So they need to go sign Kyle Tucker and give him whatever money that they have to give him, because it is very, very important that they bring in a serious bat like Kyle Tucker. I know he had his injury problems last season. It was a down year for him statistically. Obviously, injuries were a big part of that, but kind of like Dom just said, what choice do you have? You don't have a choice. You got to try to bring this guy in. The free agent list is slimming down day by day. You're going to have to try to bring in a name like Kyle Tucker. And of course, this information regarding Kyle Tucker and Cody Bellinger was from Mark Feinsand. Mets are also looking at Mason Miller. That would be a dynamite pickup for the bullpen. But I believe it would be a costly trade. I mean, Mason Miller is ridiculous, Tom.
He is nuts.
I mean, this guy can pitch. He can throw just straight gas over 100 miles per hour. Now, with that being said, I still, and I will stand on this until the offseason is over, I firmly believe that the Mets do need to try to trade for Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill and make that a trade package, because that just gives them the most value for whatever they have to give up. Now, I know somebody put together like Mason Miller and Fernando Tatis, or Mason Miller and Xander Bogaerts, and maybe look to trade Francisco Lindor. As I said on Friday, and I posted it in a short and a reel on social media, you can't be trading Francisco Lindor. Your core pieces are Francisco Lindor and Juan Soto. But I would adamantly look to pick up the phone and call the Brewers and see if you can get a trade package that includes Peralta and McGill being sent to New York. Do I know what that would require in terms of prospects and MLB-ready players? No, I do not. I'll be honest with you. I have not looked into it. I still think it's a little early. We'll be doing another episode next week anyway. So during the week, I'll look into it on what that trade package would be. I'll give you a mock trade, or I'll even put it as a community post, however. But I do think out of everything, yes, Michael King signage included, I think they really need to trade for those two guys from Milwaukee. Because again, whatever the Mets have to give up, you're going to get the utmost value for whatever you have to give up. You're answering the rotation question, and you're answering the bullpen question with Devin Williams right now looking like your potential everyday closer, which I'm frankly not very happy about. So there goes that. Other than that, everything else is just hearsay, right? People are putting things out there. They're giving you mock trades. They're doing whatever they want, putting it out there on Twitter. But really, other than those things, that's really it so far for the Mets. You know, hopefully they become more active. Everyone keeps on saying, oh, I just don't see how they don't have a big trade built up, and, you know, they're going to make a big splash, and, you know, David Stearns has got to be working on something. I got news for you, folks. It's December 16th. David Stearns is a complete failure in my eyes currently. He's just a complete failure. Right now, for what he's lost and what he's tried to bring in and what he's done so far, I'm sorry to say, he's not a success story currently in this winter meetings, or even this whole entire winter offseason. So that's where all I'm really going to say about the Mets. I don't really have much of anything else, but I don't know, Dom, if you have anything to say regarding the Mets on all that, but that's really where I'm at.
It's just funny because with that trade proposal, or like that mock contract, Kyle Tucker for 10 or 11 years for $415 million, you'd rather pay 40-something million a year for Kyle Tucker than 32 to 33 million a year for Pete Alonso? I don't understand how that makes sense.
Yeah, I could see where you're going with that. The only thing I'll say is this is essentially where they're at. Now, if they don't sign Kyle Tucker, then it's obviously going to be Carson Bench, I believe, right, to be the opening day left fielder. So I just feel like, Dom, this is where the Mets are at due to the position that they've put themselves in, right? I mean, I get where you're coming from. You're speaking towards the lines of, you know, what is David Stearns exactly thinking right now by not retaining Pete Alonso and trying to bring in Kyle Tucker on a massive deal? But if they don't bring in Kyle Tucker, I'm really going to say that, okay, Carson Bench is fully ready to go, and Jorge Polanco can totally protect Juan Soto. It's not so much where I could see if Pete Alonso is still available and Kyle Tucker's out there as well, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to go with Kyle Tucker over Pete Alonso, then I could see completely where you're coming from. But, Dom, again, like I said, I don't really know what other choice they have. Because, unfortunately...
No, there is no other choice. Definitely not. But, like...
This is the position they put themselves in.
And it just also looks bad on the Mets as well, not even really going for your homegrown talent. You
I
know, like
agree.
how does that like reflect on other players that are on the Mets?
It's not great.
I mean, I understand maybe that you're trying to cut down because you signed a crazy deal for Juan Soto, but you got to hold your own. You know, you got to if you have some homegrown talent, you gotta keep them there as much as you could, especially if you have numbers like Pete Alonso.
My problem, my problem with David Stearns, and there are many. My problem with David Stearns is he doesn't like long-term deals. Now, Juan Soto, again, this is why I've been harping on this for so long. David Stearns did not sign Juan Soto. Steve Cohen forced him. Steve Cohen took out a blank checkbook and said, okay, write down whatever it takes to bring this guy here. David Stearns does not sign 15-year deals. He don't even sign 5. Shit, I'd be surprised if he even tries to sign 4. 4 years, he may not even... Look, he didn't even want to do it for Edwin Diaz. And he was a surefire thing, the only surefire thing really they had for the whole entire team last year. And he didn't even want to give that guy 4 years. That's my problem. He doesn't want to go more than a short-term deal. You want to treat it that way? In my personal opinion, I don't think you're ever going to win a championship. I don't think you're going to win a World Series. So, Dom, I'm totally with you. You do have to hold your own, and you do have to try to retain the homegrown talent that you have. But it's not surprising me that David Stearns operates this way. Small market organization in the Milwaukee Brewers. He comes to New York, and he's trying to balance out extremely rich owner to, okay, but I also don't want to waste money and not be cost effective. But the thing is, it's very hard to do those things because you are going to miss out on prime opportunities and you're taking a lot of risk. There's more risk than reward there. But this is how he operates. So for the people who want to back him up or when they get upset when the Mets don't succeed, look back at that and say it to yourself and say, okay, now I see where they're coming from. This is why the Mets aren't getting where they need to be. I'll leave it at that.
I'll give you an example. Well, obviously we knew with Edwin Diaz it was about money. He basically said that they just didn't meet his number. Like, all right, whatever. You lost him. It's over with. Pete Alonso, you don't even offer him an offer. No contract offer at all, right? But I'll give you an example. When Aaron Judge was a free agent, allegedly they were going to give him a shit ton more money that the Yankees offered him. But obviously it's Aaron Judge. But you could have said the same thing. Obviously it's Pete Alonso. The fact that they even the Yankees gave Aaron Judge an offer, that means something.
Mm-hmm.
He could have took the money. He could have took way more money than what he got. But because that he got a decent offer from the team, he stayed.
Right. Right.
You could have at least gave him an offer.
Tom, I'm with you. I don't really know. For David Stearns to say, oh, well, his market's set. It's going to be too expensive. We're not even going to entertain a possible offer for this guy. Yeah, it's not only a spit in the face to the fans, but it's a spit in the face to Pete Alonso himself. Because for everything he's done for them from 2019 to 2025, to not even get an offer like you said, yeah, it's terrible. It's a terrible way to run an organization. It's not good. This is, again, you're just making my points about how I really don't love David Stearns and the way that he's operating things. It just doesn't scream to me like they have a path or they even have a plan to win or frankly even get to the playoffs, maybe win the division, right? That's not even there. I mean, as multiple people have said, John Heyman, this team looks like a 73 to 75 win team right now on paper. That's what they look like. And if David Stearns doesn't change his ways and change his executive approach, that's what they're going to be for 2026 before the CBA expires. And then we'll potentially go into a lockout. So that's it. That's all I'm really going to say. We could keep talking about this for days, and we'll have Obviously, a lot more opportunities to talk about Mets and the Yankees. But that's it for the MLB. Now moving on to the NBA. The Knicks beat the Raptors and the Magic to move on to the NBA Cup Championship versus the San Antonio Spurs. Game is, of course, tonight at 8:30. Spurs OKC game, Dom, was outstanding. I don't know if you watched that game at all or
That was a
watched
wild
highlights.
game.
Hmm?
That was crazy. That was a crazy game.
Fantastic game. I mean, I watched it from beginning to end. It was great. And yes, Alex Caruso got fouled. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. So that's a shame for OKC. But in any event, it is what it is, as we always say. The Spurs move on. They beat OKC. I believe it was 113-111 or 111-109, whatever the score was. It was tight. And I don't know, just in the back of my head, I really thought OKC was going to somehow pull this out. It was 111-109. Spurs won. But whatever, past is the past. It's going to be Knicks Spurs tonight. Cat looked a lot better, Dom, versus the Magic this past Saturday in Vegas. Brunson is a 30-point machine. Josh Hart is shooting very well given his injured finger dilemma. Tyler Kolek was a spark plug off the bench Saturday. He's going to have to do it again tonight with Miles McBride out, as Dom informed me before we aired. But Dom, you can go first before I ask you an interesting question. You can give your full analysis from this past week.
Well, honestly, I really wanted OKC to win because I wanted to play them just to see where we were at.
Of course.
I talked to also a lot of Knicks fans throughout the week, and they said the same thing. It's just like it was like a good test for us. Like same with last year where we played them in the regular season early on. We're like, all right, let's see how we can go against them. And obviously they kicked our ass last year, but we also did very good against the Thunder. And it would have been nice for us to play them, win or lose. It's just a good test. Like we say, it's just more of like a regular season game to us. We're not. I don't think Chris and I are thinking about, oh, this is a championship game. Like like we're so hyped that it's a championship game. Like no, it's just more about the regular season numbers and stuff like that. So if anyone wants to know how we feel about this NBA Cup, that's really how it is. We're not. It's not like no in-season soccer championship where everyone's losing their minds and going crazy. I don't think any New Yorker is gonna be acting like that tonight. But will I get a shirt if they win? And if there's an NBA Cup shirt, I'll get it. I'll get the shirt. It's probably a cool looking shirt if they win, and I'll wear it on the pod for sure. But going back to last week, I get still a lot of questions about this Giannis Cat trade. And is he playing a lot better? Yes, Cat. And I think the main reason why that he's playing a lot better is because there is noise. There is noise about a possible trade, and he will be involved in it. And I think that lit a fire under his ass, and he's playing lights out offensively. But I hate to say it to you, there's still questions defensively, and that's always been the case.
Always.
That's always been the case, and I'm still for it. I hate to break it to you guys that think that, oh, we should just leave it as is. I'm sorry, I don't believe that. I still believe that we would benefit with Giannis on this team. And what I've been saying to everyone, maybe Deuce is involved in that trade package or not. Let's say he isn't. Imagine a lineup of whoever the two guys are, whoever the other two guys are, it could be whoever. But imagine Deuce, Giannis, and OG on the court together. I'll keep saying that until this happens. Who's stopping that?
No one.
Who's stopping that? Who's getting in the paint with those three on the same court?
Maybe they'll get in the paint, but they're going to get blocked almost every time.
They're going to get blocked. They're going to get blocked almost every single time. Imagine Mitch and Jalen Brunson.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's a crazy lineup right there.
Yeah.
So for those who are wondering, I am still on the Giannis train. But going back to last week, people are going to say Cat had an amazing game, an incredible game against the Magic. Offensively, yes. Defensively, no. But offensively, he scored 29 points, 9 for 11 from the field. and 2 for 4 from 3. That's definitely one of his best games of the year, no matter what. No matter what you think of him on the defensive side of the ball. OG at 24 points, 8 of 13 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3. Brunson with a 40 piece, 16 of 27 from the field and 2 for 5 from 3. And the man you talked about a few seconds ago, Tyler Kolek. He only played 16 minutes, but he had 4 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. I've been saying it from the beginning that we need him to play more. Obviously, he will play more tonight with Deuce being out. But this guy's a floor general. He can run an offense. He can run an offense. He's not looking to score, which is like a natural point guard. A natural point guard does not look to score. They're trying to find the open man and trying to create a good play for their offensive weapons. And man, he can play. He is a great point guard. He is like the definition of what a point guard should be. So hopefully he'll get way more than 16 minutes tonight, and we'll see what he can do. Obviously, we're definitely going to need him. So I'm excited for this development of Tyler Kolek, and whatever minutes he's been given this year, he's been playing amazing. So I'm excited for that. But I'm sure one of the things that pisses you off, Chris, when it comes to the Knicks, we were 23 of 31 from the fucking free throw line. 74%.
Yeah.
Let me say it again. 23 of 31 from the fucking free throw line. That's ugly.
It's bad. It's bad.
I thought it was a Tibbs thing. I really thought it was a Tibbs thing, what was going on here. Or just them maybe not practicing or whatever. Maybe that's why they weren't making their free throws last year. But they're practicing this year. It seems like the same issue. I don't understand.
The only thing the only thing I'll say about that though is both teams, the Knicks and the Magic, both missed 8 free throws each. So at least it canceled itself out. But I agree with you. 23 of 31. Now Mitch, I think, only missed 1 free throw. I think he only went to the line once, maybe twice. So okay, take out his, because he's just obviously a terrible free throw shooter. And, it's interesting. They keep on telling me, Dom, oh, yeah, Mitch is working really hard at his free throw, at his free throw numbers. Yeah. Working really hard at free throws. You know who else works hard? My cat when she wants treats at 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't really care that he's working hard for free throws. At this point, you've been in the league since 2018. Dude, figure it out. Make some damn free throws. They're going to be doing Hack-a-Mitch during the playoffs and at certain points this season. For what reason should they not? He can't make free throws. So again, you're going to have to keep putting in the work and trying to fix your free throw percentage, because it is god-awful. It is ugly. But everyone else on that team, yeah, they shouldn't be missing free throws. Ariel Hukporti can't even shoot free throws. No one should be missing free throws. But again, at least the Magic equally missed the same amount that the Knicks did from the free throw line. But yes, it's not good. And maybe it isn't a Tibbs thing. It's just them. And that's why I say, I understand you want to blame the coach, but you got to put as much accountability on the players as you do the coach. So.
Yep, absolutely. And, well, OG missed a free throw. Cat missed a free throw.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Brunson missed 3 of them.
That's bad.
He missed 3 free throws. Mitch only missed 1. And Clarkson missed both of his free throws. So it's everybody.
Yeah, not good. Can't happen, especially not tonight. Can't happen. Listen, we'll see what the result is, right? I mean, we'll see what the result is tonight. This episode's not getting published until tomorrow, so we'll see what happens tonight with this championship game. But can't be missing free throws. Not 8 of them. Not 3 from your star player. Can't happen. What else are you gonna say?
When also we got lucky. we definitely got lucky last game because Paolo missed all of his threes. He went
Yeah.
0 for 7.
Yeah, he was bad.
So even though we scored 132 points, we got lucky, and our defense is just still not good. Every time
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to play this team, there's going to be no defense on either side of the ball, either from the Magic side or the Knicks side. There's going to be no defense played. It's just going to be an
I
absolute
gotta
shootout for the
I gotta
entire
mention
game.
something. I gotta mention something too, though, Dom. I really think one could argue, and that one would frankly be me. Jordan Clarkson has to be the worst defender I've ever seen play the sport of basketball. He is so bad.
He's
He
so
is absolutely
awful.
brutal to watch on defense. I don't know what that man does. He loses his man constantly. He can't play zone. He has to play man on man, and he's not even good at that. He constantly loses his assignment all the time. And his offense hasn't been great. He hasn't been great, period, just all around. Him and Yabusele look like shitty pickups from the summer. And I am very disappointed because I was very hype and I was very excited for them to put on a Knicks uniform and play because of what they did last season. And really, especially Jordan Clarkson with his career numbers off the bench. Yabusele, I wanted this guy in February last year. Now I don't even want to watch him play. And Jordan Clarkson, he gets into a little bit of a rhythm and then he goes ice cold. But his defense alone, I honestly think one could argue a blind person could play better defense than Jordan Clarkson. I'm just putting it out there. It's that bad. It really is.
Yeah, it's awful.
Jalen Brunson. Put it this way. Jalen Brunson's defense is 5 times better than Jordan Clarkson. And
Yeah,
that's saying a lot.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, that brings me, Dom, to the one interesting question. And you kind of answered it, but I'm talking about for you personally what you think. If the Knicks win tonight, does this banner mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Okay.
It's cool, like, I guess for the aesthetic. The aesthetic, I guess it'll be cool. It'll be really interesting to see what fans would think about a banner, if there were to be a banner in the Garden for if we win tonight.
Win, there's going to be a banner.
And there's not going to be a great reception to that. Just from any New Yorker, and especially any big New York fan, they're going to be like, "This is a bullshit banner. Like, we want a real one." And that's what New York is about in any sport. They want to win championships, and anything that's not a championship banner, they don't want it. I mean, yeah, it's cool. Like, let's say we won the Eastern Conference Finals last year. Yeah, we get a banner, but that's not going to mean anything to anyone if we don't win the finals. Yeah, I'm really not crazy about it. Am I against it? I'm not really against it because that is some type of championship, and yeah, they'll put it up there, cool. But I'm not going to be like so excited that we're going to have a banner reveal if we do win tonight.
Right. So, I mean, we haven't had many disagreements on this show. I'm actually going to blatantly disagree. I think it's going to mean a lot for the fans, maybe not as much for the players. But put it this way, Dom, and let's be blunt with it. The Knicks haven't won shit since 1973. The Knicks haven't won jack shit in years. And I think at least winning something can start to breed some sort of winning formula, and that can possibly maybe bring them to a certain level or a certain trajectory that they need in order to hopefully win it all this year. But I think at least seeing some now again, okay, everyone's different. Could you consider winning, making the playoffs now every year since frankly Tibbs came, right? COVID, winning playoff rounds, winning playoff games in the playoffs, sure. But for me, an absolute winning formula is winning some sort of championship and getting a banner for it. So winning tonight, again, more important for the organization than it is for the fans. The fans want the absolute championship banner. This is an in-season tournament banner. But I think for the organization, it means a lot because the Knicks
Oh,
have to
100%.
start
Yeah.
winning championships at some point. And I think winning tonight would put a lot of good faith in Mike Brown. And I think it's good vibes for them and that locker room going forward for the rest of the season. That would put them at a certain trajectory so that they can get to, the ultimate goal of that NBA Larry O'Brien trophy. So I think them winning tonight, I think it does mean a lot, honestly. The fans, some fans, it will mean a lot. Some it doesn't. For me, it'll mean something, but not everything. For you, it sounds like it doesn't mean much. But I just think for the organization as a whole, winning tonight, I think is important because they have to start building some sort of serious winning culture. Yes. Do they have somewhat of winning culture? Yes, because they make the playoffs every year and they win playoff rounds. We're finally seeing that on a year in, year out basis. But an absolute winning formula is winning it all and getting that trophy home. So I honestly think bringing some sort of trophy home, of course, if they win tonight and getting a banner, I think is a good first step for this season to where they want to be at the end of the year in June. I'll just say
I
that.
agree from the organization standpoint and like for the players. It obviously does it means a lot to them. Money aside, like they're gonna win like $500,000 per player, but like just besides that, just like when it comes to momentum of a season and like an accolade, yeah. But I was just talking from the fans' perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think most fans are gonna be like they're not gonna be going crazy in the street tonight, losing their mind like it's a playoff game or
No.
anything like that, or people are gonna go about their day.
Mm-hmm.
There's gonna be like, oh, like that's they look at their phone or watch the game, and be like, okay, this is really cool,
Mm-hmm.
and that's it. But
Right.
nothing,
Yeah.
nothing too crazy when it comes to a fan's perspective.
Right. No, I get what you mean, but for me, it does mean something. I think for me, it does mean something because at least you see winning culture starting to get built. So I do think it means something. With that, that's really everything else I got. We'll see how they do tonight. We'll give our predictions a little bit down the episode. But Dom, is there anything else you wanted to say before I move on here?
I just also want to see Huck Porty play as well. He didn't play against the Magic at all, so I
No.
honestly want to see him play tonight. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he may. See what Mike Brown deploys for his rotation tonight. I would like to see him play as well. You know, I think he's a serviceable big, but we shall see. We'll see what Mike Brown decides to do, and let's see who he plays for a hefty amount of minutes. Now moving on to the NFL. Dom, Giants lose 29-21 over the Commanders. Another week, another loss. So you're helping out your draft positioning, so you can take it away from there.
Yeah, we lost, and my bet was correct, by the way. So just
Mm,
everyone, just
true.
trying to brag to the people who don't think I can bet for shit. My bet was correct that we lost by 7 to 12 points. So thank you. Besides that, we lose every single game um, from the middle of the field. Every single game. It's either running up the middle because Krosky Merritt has done dog shit all year, basically, except for like a good game or two. He had 96 yards and a touchdown by running up the middle. Just by that, just by running up the middle. And I think almost every single pass that Marcus Mariota threw, it was basically up the middle of the field. And we made Marcus Mariota look like Pat Mahomes. He even ran the ball 10 times for 43 yards. That's
Wow.
just unreal. For
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota, this isn't 2018 anymore. With him running all over the place. This dude can't really run that much, and he ran 10 times. So that's pretty crazy. But the really one big bright spot for this game was Abdul Carter. He finally had his breakout rookie game. I think this is what happens if you actually put Abdul Carter in the right spots on the field. Because clearly Shane Bowen did not use him right at all. And then now we have a new defensive coordinator for 2 games, and he looks way better. He had a sack. He had 3 tackles for loss, 2 forced fumbles, a fumble recovery, 1 holding penalty drawn. So he was clearly a force to be reckoned with on Sunday, and he looked great. And maybe it has to do with the playmaking calls, the play calls, and the head coach and the D coordinator, but also maybe him finally getting disciplined under this new head coach in Mike Kafka, because apparently him being late to shit was happening all year and nothing happened to him. So what happens when now that he's missing downs and missing plays, and maybe that helped him motivate himself. So you see what happens when you get a new head coach and a new defensive coordinator. Are they good? No, but a change of scenery when it comes to coaching, it can do good for players. So that was the one bright spot of the game. But now I'm going to get to Jaxson Dart, because I'm going to say something really, really hot. And I'm not talking about replacing Jaxson Dart, but Jaxson Dart is very lucky that there isn't many good quarterbacks in this draft. And what I mean by that is just for an insurance plan. I'm not talking about replacing Jaxson Dart, but we have the first pick in the draft. And if there was like a really good prospect, you might have to take that option. Because the way that Jaxson Dart plays, 50% of the games that he was in so far, he had to get evaluated for a concussion. 50% of the time. And he was already in the protocol, and he already missed 2 games because of it. He plays hard. We get it. He plays hard. He can throw. You know, he can clearly run, but he doesn't know how to protect himself. And him 2 weeks ago talking about, oh, I'm still going to play aggressive, and, this is how I play, and I'm not going to be the same person on the field if I don't play this way. I'm sorry, buddy. You got to change your ways, or at least learn how to slide, or learn how to run out of bounds, or do something. And it's getting really concerning. But one thing I will say about the game is I think it was actually bullshit that he had to get evaluated for a concussion off that one play on like a 1st and 2, like a 1st and 2 and something at their own 2-yard line. He tried to run in, and then he got hit, and like his neck went like a little bit to the right or something, but he really didn't get hit in the head, or really wasn't a hard hit or anything. He just landed a little weird, and he got up looking fine. So I think that was a little bullshit call on the NFL, telling the referees to stop play so he can get Jaxson Dart out of there. It was a 2nd and 2 on the opposing 2-yard line. And then Jameis Winston, who definitely is not really expected to come in at all, probably just chilling on the sideline. He was definitely not ready to come in because we couldn't even convert on a 2nd and 2 against the opposing 2-yard line. So that cost us most likely a touchdown, because you can call a proper running play, or you can do a RPO, run pass option. With Jameis Winston, you can't do that. He can't run. He can't run at all. And if he does an RPO, no one's going to believe that he's actually going to run the ball either. That definitely cost us. That could have cost us the game, or at least us trying to go into overtime or something. So I really did not agree with that, but there is one stat that is concerning about Jaxson Dart. Probably the only one that there is that's a concern, that Jaxson Dart with balls down the field with 10 plus yards, he's one of the worst in the NFL in that completion percentage. But that is a stat that came out. I think it was on WFAN. But the reason why he's so bad at that stat is because of Darius Slayton and Theo Johnson. The amount of footballs that they have dropped all year, you can't really blame Jaxson Dart for that. So we just need new weapons for next year, and I don't know what the plan is, but we'll see how it goes when it comes to hopefully new general manager and a new head coach. I'll get to Joe Schoen in a minute, but these are Jaxson Dart stats for 9 games so far that he's played in. 62.5%, 200 yards a game, 13 touchdowns, 4 picks, 400 rushing touchdowns, and 7 TDs on the ground. And let's say that he did play all 17 games. This would be his stat line, or at least somewhat close to it. Let's say he did throw 62.5% again in 17 games. He would have 3,403 yards, 24 touchdowns, 7 picks, 755 rushing yards, and 13 touchdowns on the ground. I mean, I think any team would take those stats in a 17-game season.
Pretty much.
So that's very good. That's very good, and I don't think we should move on from Jaxson Dart, obviously, because he's an incredible talent and he has all the aspects of a star in this league. But I did agree with WFAN because it was, I forgot the guy's name, but who does the show with Tiki?
Evan Roberts.
Evan. He was getting a little crazy when it came to that take where he's like, I think we actually have to look at a quarterback, but I don't think we should this year. But let's say this is the same thing again next year. We're going to have to look for one. Because he's projected to probably, as of right now, with his playing style, I can't see him lasting 5 years, or at least 5 years. That's all, as long as he could last. He can't be taking these hits. And you never know. He might pull an Andrew Luck, and because of all the hits that he's taken, he'll just retire.
I know.
You never know. But, and the last thing I will say about the Giants is we can't have Joe Schoen pick this head coach, and we can't have him be in charge of the draft pick.
No.
If it's the first pick or the third pick or the fifth pick or whatever, he should not.
Dom, if it's pick 252, he shouldn't be doing the draft order.
He should not. We need a fresh set of eyes for the head coach and the GM. So whoever that is, they need to be the ones in charge. And let's say we do have the number 1 pick, which I'm sort of afraid we won't, because I think it's the second to last game of the season. We're going to play the Raiders, and that's the game that we're going to win. So we're going to have a top 5 pick, I'm sure. But I don't think it'd be the number 1 pick, but let's just say it is. We got to trade down. We got to trade down and figure out a way to get more weapons, offensively or defensively, because we need a whole lot. We need so much, and I'm sure a lot of teams are going to willing to trade up with us because teams need a quarterback. Teams need a quarterback, or they're more desperate to get a weapon. So if it is the number 1 pick, we got to trade down. The Giants need so much. They need a cornerback. They need a safety. They need a middle linebacker. They need a D tackle. I said wide receiver.
Dom, I gotta ask you.
We need so much.
What happened with Okereke this year?
I don't think anybody knows.
I mean, he was a surefire thing last year.
He was a Pro Bowler. Was it last year or 2 years ago? He was a Pro Bowler with the Giants.
It may have been.
I don't know what the hell happened.
But it may have been 2 years ago. I'm gonna check that though.
I think it was 2 years ago.
It may have been 2 years ago. I don't think it was last year. But that is a good question. It just blows my mind. What happened to that guy? He was just so good last year. No, he didn't make the Pro Bowl at all, Dom.
No, he didn't? No, I
No.
thought he was.
No, I thought he made it 2 years ago. I guess he did not. All right. Yeah, he didn't make it.
Well, I'm seeing news right now that Bobby Okereke is somewhat of a favorite for this year's Pro Bowl, which I can't believe it. That doesn't make any sense to me. Inside linebacker, he's in the top 4 right now for voting. That's pretty crazy. That should not be the case at all.
If he makes it,
But
good for him. But yeah, I don't think he's Pro Bowl worthy this season. So
what is disgusting is Andrew Thomas is not. He's not even in the top 10 voting for offensive lineman
is it
for
because
tackles.
he was out for a bit to start the year?
Could be, but he's been lights out ever since he's been back,
No, he's
and
been
he's been
good.
back for a while.
He's
So
been
that's
good.
pretty disgusting. I retweeted Andrew Thomas's votes. It's like a double vote thing today. If you retweet, it counts as 2 votes.
Mm,
You already know I did that. He
hmm
deserves it. I can't believe he hasn't been in a Pro Bowl yet. He deserves to be. So hopefully
hmm
he does. But
Yeah,
and
that's
then I
wild.
guess another bright spot too that I'll say. This is the last thing I'll say about the Giants
Mm.
is Tyrone Tracy looks pretty good.
Yeah, he did
Tyrone,
look good the last game. Yeah, yeah.
and then we were hoping for this for all year with Scadaboo and Tyrone Tracy. That's a really good running back duo. But we just got to hope for next year.
I think next year will be a lot more successful and productive. I think the Giants fans are going to have a much better year next year. I believe.
Me
Again,
too.
like you said, though, Jaxson Dart's got to stay upright. Or he's got to stay upright, but he's also, it's funny, he's got to stay upright, but he also has to slide too. He's got to get down. So he's
Yep.
got to do both, unfortunately. But all right, that's everything you said with the Giants. I'm going to talk about the Jets, and it's going to be particularly short because, frankly, a 48-20 ass whooping against the Jaguars doesn't really call for a lot of conversation, frankly. I'll just read some stats to start off. I mean, Brady Cook, once again, the guy looks like Bruce Lee from The Longest Yard. I mean, 22 of 33 passing, 176 yards. Okay, average 5.3 yards per pass, 1 touchdown, but 3 interceptions. Got sacked 3 times, lost 22 yards on those sacks. QBR was a 46.1, passer rating 52.1, just brutal. Isaiah Davis, he got, I think it was that the only, okay, Adonai Mitchell got a touchdown. I was curious on that. Forgot who the other person was. So Isaiah Davis and Adonai Mitchell were the only ones who really had productive performances in this game. Isaiah Davis, 9 carries. Longest run was 24 yards. He ran for 58 yards on 9 carries. He obviously got a touchdown, as I just said. Brees Hall was terrible. 12 carries. He only had 23 yards, 1.9 yards per carry. Adonai Mitchell, 6 receptions on 9 targets, 58 yards, got 1 touchdown. Longest reception was 21 yards. Isaiah Davis's longest run was 24. And honestly, that's really it. I mean, in terms of good stats, that's about it. The Jets have looked their strongest on special teams, for weeks now, aside from their very good offensive line, though Brees Hall didn't have the best game. Their running game period wasn't that great. But that's really it for the Jets. They just didn't have much to show for. Brady Cook is terrible. It was funny. I was walking through the lobby of my complex here, and some older gentleman said to me, "Oh, Brady Cook looks pretty good." I was like, "What? Brady Cook looks good?" I go, "Sir, you need cataract surgery." I was like, "I'm not really sure what the hell you're watching." I was like, "Yeah, I think you're looking at the wrong game. Did you put the Bills on?" I was like, "Who are you watching? You put on Red Zone? You got the games mixed up?" I'm like, "Okay, whatever. You have a good day, my friend." So that's everything there. Now, just a couple of news about the Jets, and I'm going to start with first down Lazard getting released. Mutually parted ways. Terrible contract. 4 years, 44 million. The
Wow.
first 2 years were guaranteed, and he just didn't show anything for the Jets, and he was just pretty terrible. But when they signed him, of course, it was for Aaron Rodgers. I thought maybe he can come in and make a difference. But then I see him play, and he's got butterfingers every time you throw the ball to him. But man, did that contract run sour very fast. $11 million per year. Okay, signing bonus 10.9, guaranteed at signing 22 million. So again, after the 2023 season and 2024, that was it. No more guaranteed money. And now they finally released him. I don't know what took so long. They should have done it weeks ago. They honestly should have done it after last season. I don't know why they tried to keep him on, but he's gone. But here's the thing, and this is the other bit of news that came out. I'm first going to preface it by saying, I don't know, Dom, if you watched the press conference with Aaron Glenn after the game on Sunday. Did you watch any of it?
No.
Kind of glad you didn't. So he was telling reporters that, no, Steve Wilkes is going to stay here. I want him to run the defense. I think he's good. He's an adequate coach to run the defensive coordinator duties. Well, the man just got fired. So obviously, Woody Johnson, I just think he's a piece of shit. He doesn't respect anybody. I don't think Aaron Glenn had any hand in firing Steve Wilkes. That would be a crazy
No.
two-faced. No way. That would just be a too much of a two-faced move by Aaron Glenn to say, nah, dude, you're good. You can run the defense. And then basically 24 hours later, hey, dude, you got to pack it up. You suck. I'm firing your ass. I mean, that would be nuts. Woody Johnson definitely said, I don't give a rat's ass what Aaron Glenn wants to do. My team only has 3 wins. I'm firing Steve Wilkes. So it went from, oh, no, yeah, he can do the job, to then somebody else saying, are you out of your mind? You're an idiot. No, he can't. He's gone. So it's really crazy how there is just no, what's the word, competence and communication. The 2 big C's, frankly, to have a winning ball club and run an organization, competence and communication. If you don't have either one of those 2, I mean, no competence. You don't know who you're bringing in. You're bringing in guys like Steve Wilkes and Alan Lazard. And communication, you make yourself look like a fool in front of the media. So I'm not really sure what the Jets have, frankly. All they really have is money, thanks to the season ticket holders spending their money and burning it, sending it over to Woody Johnson. So letting go of Steve Wilkes really was just a complete spit in the face to Aaron Glenn. And I firmly believe that was Woody Johnson's doing. But the Jets, there's 3 games left. I think they're just going to play for pride at this point. I mean, that's really all they have to play for. And they're going to continue to look like crap. And of course, you know, it's going to be a battle of the mids this upcoming Sunday with the Jets and the Saints. The Saints at least got a win this past Sunday, so that was pretty funny. But it's going to be a complete battle of the mids. Who did the Saints beat this past Sunday? That's right, the Panthers. Panthers are now 7-7. Saints are now 4-10. Of course, Jets, as we know, are 3-11. So, you know, we'll give our predictions a little bit down. But with all of that said, Dom, again, like we discussed last week, the Jets are going to be high up there in the draft order. Now with that loss, Dom, I don't know if you looked at the draft positioning this past weekend, yesterday, today, but let's see.
Yeah.
What is this?
You guys are 5th.
Okay. So we're 5th, but is this, so this is a mock draft. And right now, Field Yates is predicting that the Jets and Giants are going to trade with each other, and the Jets are going to trade for the number 1 pick. That's what Field Yates is predicting.
I mean, that's pretty interesting for sure.
He thinks they're going to trade with the Giants, and the Jets are going to go for Fernando Mendoza. Listen, is it the worst thing to do? No, because let's be real. Who the heck is going to be the quarterback for the Jets next season? It can't be Tyrod Taylor. Justin Fields he's terrible, as we already know. So what other options do they have? There's not many. And they'd have to trade for a guy like Mac Jones because he's under contract next year. So Field Yates thinks the Jets and the Giants are going to trade with each other. I don't know what the Giants are going to get back. I wonder if he even put that out there, but I don't think he went so far as to say who the Giants would get in return or what.
You'd probably get both of your picks.
I'm wondering if there's going to be more of that, though. Oh, the Jets would send both of their first-round picks and a day 2 pick to the Giants for the top selection. So number 7 and 18, well, I guess in this case 5, right? Yeah. So the 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Okay.
As
That's
of
it.
right now, the Colts are 18th, but I'm assuming that they're gonna lose more games. So I don't know. They can maybe even go up to like 15, something like that.
Yeah.
I would definitely take that
Yeah.
without a
Yeah.
question. I would take it.
Yeah. No, but the Colts are definitely going to move. Papa Rivers didn't exactly show a lot off the couch at 40 years old. So
44,
Colts are going to keep losing. Huh?
44,
Phillip Rivers is 44 years old.
44.
I mean, I got to check that, but holy shit. Is he actually 44?
Yep.
That's nuts. He's 44 years old. That's nuts. All right. Wow. Yeah, his kids are watching him on the big screen. Daddy's getting trucked by the defensive line. Oh my God. Yeah, let's hope he doesn't get hurt. Okay.
Yeah, really.
Every kid needs a father. All right. So that's that. That's really everything I have to say with the Jets, dude. It's like nauseating, and I get so freaking tired talking about the New York Jets. I can't wait for the season to be over. Oh man, another season. I can't wait to be over. It's so sad. Franchise is an absolute joke. All right. Well, that's it for the NFL. Dom, we're gonna do take a seat. Let's bet. You can go first. Dom's DraftKings bets for Thursday Night Football, Rams at Seahawks. There's 2 Friday games because we're getting close to Christmas. And, or actually, no, I'm sorry. It's Saturday, not Friday, but Saturday. And those are Eagles at Commanders, Packers at Bears. And then, of course, he has his Giants with the Giants facing off here at MetLife against the Vikings. So, Dom, you can go first. In the order of Thursday night, and then the 2 Saturday night, and then the Sunday night game for the Giants.
So for the Thursday night football, I got first touchdown score, Puka Nakua, plus 650.
Hmm.
So that's Thursday. Then Saturday, for the Eagles Commanders game, I have Deebo Samuel anytime touchdown plus 240. This is all DraftKings, by the way.
Yep.
And then Packers and Bears, I'm going to do DeAndre Swift first touchdown score plus 750. And then I think this is just a safe bet, honestly, for the Giants, maybe for the whole year, is for the Vikings to beat the Giants by 7-12, plus 450. You may as well just run that for the rest of the year. Honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're literally just putting that out there for the folks for the rest of the season. That's hilarious.
I honestly might. That might be a realistic option that I'm doing. We'll see, depending on how good the other bets are. But yeah, those are all my DraftKings bets, and I don't know. Maybe I'll change it up a bit because I know the Giants are gonna fuck it up, and we'll probably beat the Raiders when we play them. So maybe I'll do Giants win by 7-12. But hey, we'll see. We'll see how I feel that particular week.
All right. Yeah, we'll check it out. See what happens. Okay, so that's Dom's bets. I do FanDuel, of course. So I'll start with Thursday night, Rams at Seahawks. I got JSN anytime touchdown and Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown. Same game parlay for plus 528. Rams passing defense is 19th in the NFL. So, ipso facto, I'll take those 2 for touchdowns. And I think Kenneth Walker will get a passing TD because he's been catching the ball recently. And then I got Saturday, Eagles at Commanders. Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, both anytime touchdown, same game parlay, plus 442. Commanders' total defense is just maybe worse or as bad as a trash can. 31st in the NFL. So I think that's a solid bet for that game. Packers at Bears. Josh Jacobs just looks like an absolute tank. And he looked great again this past weekend. I'm going to say 2+ touchdowns. and that's going to be plus 500. Bears rushing defense is 23rd in the NFL. And just, I think it makes the most sense to bet Josh Jacobs because he's that good. And again, like I said, he's a tank. Had a touchdown, against Denver, and of course had 2 receptions. So he's pretty darn good. Average 6.1 yards. So that's for that bet. And then Jets at Saints. Brace yourselves for this one. Battle of the mids. Total points under 21.5 at plus 1,300.
Wow.
I'm
There
not
it
gonna lie
is.
to you,
Taking a risk for once.
huh?
You're taking a risk for once.
Absolutely. I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna take an even bigger risk and do 17.5 under, and I think that
Wow.
was like plus 2,500. Screw it.
Yeah, screw it.
Why not? Fuck it. We ball. All right. That's it.
Oh, baby.
Why not? So those are my bets. And I mean, again, as you couldn't tell, I think the Jets and Saints game is going to be absolutely terrible. So that now leads us to take a seat. Let's predict. Dom, Giants versus Commanders. What do you got? Who's winning this one? And what's the score?
Giants versus Vikings. Giants versus
Oh, I'm sorry.
Vikings.
Yes, Giants
And
versus Vikings. I didn't change this up. Apologies. There you go. Dom's more awake than I am. I need more coffee, I guess, in this afternoon.
I'm going to go, I'll probably go 21-14 Vikings.
Okay. All right.
We're not winning.
No.
Honestly, I could see Hawkinson scoring because every time we play, it seems like that the tight ends go off if they score or not, and then Justin Jefferson will have the comeback game of his year. So
Okay. All right. Got it. Jets at Saints. I'm going to say Saints win. And if you couldn't tell by my bet, it's going to be a barn burner. I'm going to say the Saints win 10-7. It's going to be a
okay,
baseball score, essentially. So, I mean, could it be 14-7? Yeah, I gave it a little bit of a cushion with the total points under 21.5. So I'm going to say Saints win this one 10-7. So that's Saints, Jets at Saints. And now, really the big game out of all of them, it's tonight. Knicks versus Spurs, NBA Cup Championship. Dom, what do you got? Who's winning this one tonight?
I would say the Knicks in overtime.
Wow.
We're gonna go to overtime and we're gonna win.
That's crazy. They went into overtime the end of March 2024 against the Spurs, and they went into overtime against the Spurs on Christmas last year.
Yep. I
That's
think
a good,
I think
what?
you'll
That's a
go into
good choice
overtime
by
again.
you. What'd you say?
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's gonna go into overtime again,
Okay.
especially for the championship.
Yeah, I think that's a good selection. Okay. I'm gonna say the Knicks win, but I don't think there's going to be overtime. And I do think this is going to be a close game because the Spurs look pretty good, but I do think the Knicks win a close one. I don't think they win by more than 5 points.
Yeah, I agree.
So,
We have the same record.
yeah, we do. Yes. Yep, 18-7. And don't forget, folks, this game does not affect the standings. This is only for money. This is only for the 500K per player. This does not affect standings. So it'll be a nice casual game, honestly, just for the money and the banner. And I guess, the cup,
Yep.
the trophy. So, all right, cool. So you say Giants lose to the Vikings. I say Jets lose to the Saints. And we both agree the Knicks beat the Spurs. But you say Knicks win in overtime. I say I don't. But again, like I said, I don't think the Knicks would win by more than 5 points. So we'll say that. And of course, there's other games this week. The Knicks have they have the Pacers on Thursday. And then they do a back-to-back. Dom, I don't know if you remember who the Knicks play on Friday.
The 76ers, and then
Okay.
on
And
Sunday
then
the Heat,
Sunday is, yep.
and then next Tuesday is the Knicks at Timberwolves.
You want to give a quick prediction for that?
So we're gonna win
Including
tonight.
Tuesday? And this is including next Tuesday, by the way.
Yeah, I think we're gonna go 3-2. We're going to beat the Spurs. We're going to beat the Pacers. We're going to beat the Sixers. And we're going to lose to the Heat and the Timberwolves. I think with the news that's going on also, we didn't really talk about it, but maybe bringing back Dante Chivincenzo. He's probably pissed off about it, and I can see him going off against us. They still got Rudy Gobert, Julius Randle, and Anthony Edwards. So I think we can. There's a good chance we lose that game, and also the Heat are just too good. Also, I'll say it all year: don't sleep on the Heat. Don't sleep on the Heat, and I think we'll go 3-2.
So I'm going to say the Knicks beat the Pacers Thursday. I'm going to be honest. I say they lose to the Sixers. I mean, Sixers aren't terrible. They're 14-11. I say they lose to the Sixers because they're traveling around Vegas. Then they got to travel to Indianapolis from Vegas. That's a long trek. And then they're playing a back-to-back at home against the Sixers. They got to then fly back home. I say they lose that one. So tonight, so that's so far 2-1. I say they actually beat the Heat on Sunday. That's 3-1. But I say, yeah, I'm going to say they lose to the T-Wolves. So still 3-2, just in a different order. So I agree with you on the record for the week, just not the certain games selected.
Okay.
So that's what I'm going with. All right, Dom, anything else you want to say before I wrap up today's episode?
Yeah, last words. Fire Joe Shane, number one. We may as well do it now. May as well not wait towards the end of the season so we can get the process going earlier. I hope Huck Porty plays, and then I hope we get Tyler Kolek. We give him more minutes. He's gonna have to play more minutes, but I hope we get a lot more Kolek minutes. And then when it comes to the Yankees, do what you can to get this guy from Japan, Tatsuya Imai. He seems like a good pitcher, and yeah, he's on the older side, but you know what? We got to take the risk. I mean, look what happens when we got Tanaka. He was on the older side as well, and he was a force for us for about 7 years or so. So go take that risk, and I mean, also get back Cody Bellinger. If not, he's going to the Mets.
Okay. Yeah, Cody Bellinger. All right. Well, I mean, for me, I'll start with the order that we had the episode for. So the Mets, I say the two moves they have to make is trading for Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill and signing Kyle Tucker. I mean, if they sign another pitcher, great. But if they make that move for those two guys in Milwaukee, Trevor McGill and Freddie Peralta, and they sign Kyle Tucker, it'll be a B-level signing for another pitcher. But the two big moves, I think, sign Kyle Tucker and trade for Freddie Peralta and Trevor McGill. That's the Mets. The Knicks, I think this is an important game. I think in terms of the winning culture for the organization, getting to where they want to go at the end of the year, I think winning tonight against the Spurs for the NBA Cup championship, I think puts them in the right frame of mind. It puts the right vibes into that organization in the locker room, and that starts them on the right trajectory to winning the championship possibly in June. And for the Jets, sell the damn team. Just sell it. This owner sucks. I don't really care what their plan is for this upcoming draft and for the following season. Woody Johnson, you'll never win with him as an owner. So that's really all I have to say about the Jets. I honestly, at this point in my life, I don't like speaking about them until they actually show me something, some sort of winning and some sort of actual plan of what they're going to do to fix this franchise. This franchise is broken. It is completely broken, and I'm not sure who can come here to fix it, but it ain't going to be Woody Johnson fixing it. He's had it for 25 years, and they've only won the division once, as I've said episodes ago. I know I've said it already, but that's really all I have to say. Dom, are you good? Anything else?
I'm all good.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you to everyone for tuning into today's episode of the FTB podcast on either YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts. Be sure to like this episode and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you never miss any of our shows. See you folks on Tuesday. Peace.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it.